How's it going, guys? Cracked Rack here, and today we're going to be talking about Chris Chan yet again. See, I did say in my last video that I was going to be done talking about Chris for a while, but I've come to realize that Chris Chan is my passion. Talking about him is one of my favorite things to do, and hey, it brings in the dough. So for the foreseeable future, I will be covering Chris very regularly, at least twice a week from now on, and we'll be discussing various topics regarding Chris's life in these videos. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Chris's health, diet, and weight gain over the last few decades. If you weren't aware, or are new to Christery in general, Chris is not a healthy man at all, and really never has been. But the extent of his obesity has gotten so severe over the last 15 years that it warrants an entire video being made about it. So first off, let's talk about Chris's diet. What exactly is Chris's diet? Well, there's been speculation for quite a long time, but I've managed to narrow it down to a few things from a few different sources. So Chris usually only eats about 2 meals a day because his schedule is awful. Now keep in mind that is definitely not the case as of right this minute because he is in jail, but this is likely what he'll go back to right when he's released. Anyway, for breakfast, Chris usually does not eat at all because he stays up all night and jerks off, then wakes up at like 3 p.m. But if he does have breakfast, it will almost always be a trip to McDonald's for something like an Egg McMuffin with hash browns or something similar. Then, a few hours later, Chris will decide it's time for lunch. Now, lunch can be one of two things. It's either going to be McDonald's or another terrible for you restaurant, but the difference is it's not fast food. Chris almost always goes out for lunch, which, by the way, even for the richest of people, that is extremely expensive. Chris wastes thousands upon thousands of dollars every year on his restaurant ventures. Anyway, yeah, that is usually almost always Chris's lunch. He rarely ever eats anything at home. So far, we are at thousands of calories worth of fast food, and it's only lunchtime, and this is a daily occurrence and has been for nearly 20 years. If Chris doesn't go to McDonald's for lunchtime, he'll usually go to some mom and pop restaurants that offer things like wings and chicken and generally just fried shit that Chris will shove down his throat like there's no fucking tomorrow. And if he does go to McDonald's, he usually will get a gigantic Big Mac-esque meal with large fries, a large soda, a large dessert item, and just everything. This is a super common occurrence, like I said. It's been noted Chris within a 13-day span on average goes to McDonald's about 10 times. Also, horrifically enough, it was discovered that Chris enjoys dousing his McDonald's french fries in soy sauce. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but soy sauce is so fucking salty it can kill you if you drink enough. Chris douses that on top of fries that are already extremely heavily salted and can give you high blood pressure. So yeah, overall, Chris's breakfast and lunch habits are atrocious. But what about his dinner habits? Well, for dinner, Chris will almost always have a TV dinner as he's too tired and worn out by this part of the day to go out and get fast food again, which the reason why he's so worn out is probably because his blood sugar is fucking awful from all the shit he just stuffed in his face all day. Anyway, yeah, TV dinners are Chris's go-to meal item when he doesn't have the ability to get fast food. The TV dinners Chris buys as well are all absolutely abhorrent for his health. He isn't buying lean cuisine dinners, okay? He's buying the big-ass artificially flavored boxes of garbage. Think like Hungry Man TV dinners that inside have gigantic amounts of mashed potatoes, steak, gravy, and other salty, calorie-filled crap, on top of having a huge dessert inside. So overall, Chris's diet is usually 2 visits to McDonald's a day and a big-ass TV dinner for dinner. Now on top of this, it should be noted that Chris also eats a lot of snacks. We don't know exactly what kinds of snacks Chris enjoys, but it's very likely what you'd expect. Lots of chips like Doritos and shit. Oh, and lastly, Chris drinks a lot of sugary soda. You'd think with Chris being so unhealthy, he would drink diet soda, which would actually be less bad for him, right? But instead, he almost always opts for regular sugar-filled sodas like Coca-Cola and Mountain Dew. Now, how much soda does he drink a day exactly? Well, it's been found he usually chugs about 800 calories worth of soda a day and drinks at least 3 pints. Now, if you don't know, soft drinks are one of the biggest silent killers in the United States. It is so incredibly easy to die of a heart attack or heart problem at age 40 or 50 just from being an avid consumer of these products. So overall, Chris eats fast food twice a day, eats TV dinners like they're snacks, snacks on chips all day, and drinks nearly 1,000 calories of real sugar soft drinks every single day. He's been doing this for 20 years at least. Keep in mind, what Chris eats in a day for like fast food and calories is what I would eat in like a week. maybe even a month. So I really don't think Chris has much longer to live. I know of 40-year-olds in my family who have had heart attacks just because they like to indulge in eating red meat every once in a while. And these are people who exercise regularly and drink a ton of water, which Chris never does. So Chris is honestly living on borrowed time. I don't even know how the hell he hasn't had a heart attack yet. But even if he does improve his diet drastically and stop snacking so much and start drinking more water, guaranteed we're gonna see a heart attack saga in the near future. Chris is a 40-year-old man. He will legally be considered a senior citizen in less than 15 years, and I honestly do not think he will make it if he continues this diet. But it's not like there's much Chris can even do. Even when Chris does try, rarely, he still fails. For example, he did get a gym membership a few years ago, but he couldn't continue going there because he kept farting and burping extremely loudly and almost shitting his pants, making all the women there extremely uncomfortable. Seriously, he was getting mass amounts of complaints made about him at this gym because of this behavior. So overall, Chris is extremely unhealthy. He gets little to no hydration, gets no quality nutrition at all, and is nearly constantly shoving shit in his face. On top of this, he never exercises, and can't even exercise if he wants to because every time he tries, he shits his pants. Anyway, that's all for today. See ya.